Hello, my friends. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Friday the 10th, and that means a top 10 list. And I was thinking of what are the best debut novels that I've ever read. And I came up with this list. It wasn't so easy as you think because Google didn't really help me. I've read a lot of books in my life, but most of them were in Dutch. Before I had my channel, I read in Dutch. And yeah, there are many magnificent Dutch or Flemish debut novels, but they aren't necessarily translated. And I also read Dutch translated novels, but they were also not necessarily translated into English. So that made it a whole lot more difficult. And I wanted to have read the book. So no Carrie, no Stephen King's Carrie, no Donna Tartt, The Secret History. I haven't read them. I know that they are important and debut novels, but it's a bit silly to promote a book that you haven't read. So first up is My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite, I think, Oyinkan Braithwaite. I'm sorry for the massacre, the name massacre, but this is a brilliant debut. It was all over BookTube a couple of years ago. So this is the story about two sisters. One is the serial killer and the other one cleans up after her. It is enormously witty and wry and just fabulous story, and the pacing is absolutely perfect. It is a brilliant debut novel, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of her work. Now, 2003 is for me the Patricia Highsmith year. Ollie and I, we are reading her complete catalogue of novels, or her oeuvre. That's how you pronounce it, not oeuvre, but oeuvre. And we have just finished the fifth book. That was Deepwater, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. But her debut, Strangers on a Train, is also fabulous. Strangers on a Train, two men meet each other. Two random men meet each other on the train during a very, very long and boring train ride. And by the end of the train ride, they have decided to commit each other's murders. One is married, has a girlfriend, and his wife doesn't want to get a divorce, so that's a bit of a nuisance. And the other one is very well off, but he has a trust fund and he wants to have the money, but his father doesn't allow him to. So yeah, that's the story. That's the brilliant idea. She makes every villain look normal and just like everybody else, and that's what's so brilliant about Patricia Highsmith. In her mind, everybody can commit murder. And then a book that I've talked about on this channel many times, and I will do that again many times. It's The Street by Ann Petry. The Street is written in 1948, I believe, and it's about a young woman, very beautiful, very attractive. She is married to a guy, and they have a little boy. The guy is very disheartened. He can't find a job, and he doesn't see any future, and he starts drinking and taking drugs, and the marriage isn't safe anymore. So she decides to pack up her things and her son, and they go to New York from the south, and she finds a little place on 118th Street, which is a character on its own in the novel. And she works double shifts, and she has it very difficult to make a living for the both of them. And she has to leave the little boy alone way too many times, and he's scared of the dark. And then there's also all sorts of men who want something from her and feel that she is obliged to give her the things they want. And it's a heartbreaking story, but so well written. Oh my God. Yeah, and Petry. You will never forget this one. Then another, a very famous author this time, Margaret Atwood, The Edible Woman. The Edible Woman is about a young woman who just wants the classic life, an education, career, husband, but her food communicates with her and tells her what to do. And therefore she has a little fling with one, and then she decides not to marry the very well-off Petry, I believe his name is, and all things go wrong. So she is kind of sabotaged by her own food. What a wonderful idea. Then, this book is, I also talked about it a couple of times already, but it is a book, sorry, I'm a bit thirsty. Lemon water. This book, I've talked about it at least three or four times. It's Les Bienveillantes by Jonathan Littell. The Kindly Ones. He has an American name, but he writes in French. This book is plain evil and very, very disturbing, but also very brilliant. We read the biography of, or the memoirs of Max Auer. Max Auer is he has a company. He's a CEO of, can't remember what he was CEO of, but he also writes about his past as a Nazi officer. And he talks about all the atrocities that he has done while he was a Nazi. And he does that with so much pleasure. He is the quintessential villain. And you can't stop reading. That's what's so gross. He is so proud of all the things that he has done and the fact that he got away with it. He is such a horrible man. But this is a brilliant, brilliant, very, very disturbing book. Really good. Absolutely brilliant. Then, of course, I've read many, many Dutch debuts in my life, and only a few got translated. And one of these is, in fact, one of my favorite debut novels of all time. It is not a perfect novel, not by any means, but her writing is so fresh and so innovative and so cool, and the idea is cool, and I really liked it. It's The Consequences by Niña Weijers. Niña Weijers is, after her debut, only wrote more or less short stories and essays, and she's really brilliant at it. This is a story of Mini Panis. Mini Panis is a celebrated artist, a conceptual artist, and one day she asks a man to follow her and to take pictures and to film her everywhere she goes. And then after a while we discover why. And this is such a mindfuck, and so it plays with you, and it's mischievous, and she takes you everywhere where you don't want to be, and she makes a fool of you as a reader in a way, but it's so brilliantly done. It is really brilliant. Yeah, it's a very manipulative book. Very manipulative, but it's good. I liked it. I was in the jury of the Gouden Uil, which was the most important book award at that time. And there was also an award of the public, and I was a part of that jury, and hey, boy, did I champion for this book, and eventually she won. I hope I can say that it's partly thanks to me. It's a good book. Then also a Dutch book, written in 1860. It was a very, very important book when it comes to colonialism. Multatuli is a pen name of Douwe Dekkers, and he was working for the Dutch company that traded coffee from Indonesia. And he worked in, I believe, Jakarta, or I don't know, it was in Indonesia. And he was so shocked by the way the Dutch treated the local people that he wrote Max Havelaar. And this is the story about a man who does the same job. And he is, of course, also very shocked on how the local people are treated, and he wants to help them. And the more he tries, the more it becomes his downfall. This book was very impactful in the 19th and 20th century in the Netherlands and in Flanders, of course. This was, it changed the way they treated the local people a little bit, but it made the people at home more aware of what was happening over there. So yeah, very important book. Then I also thought of a Georgian author, Georgia, the country, not the state, where Jim lives. And this is The Eighth Life by Nino Harishfili. This is a book about 4 generations in Georgia, in a small village on the border with Azerbaijan. I believe it is, Azerbaijan. And at the beginning of the 20th century, the family has a very well-known chocolate store. And the father has a secret recipe that, is so well and has some magical impact on the people who eat it. And but then, of course, there's the Russian Revolution, and then there's the wars, and then there's communism. So the shop had to be closed, and it talks about all the effects that it has on one family throughout the generations. It is an absolute brilliant book, a must read for everyone. It's only 1,200 pages. And then Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose. This is also brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Umberto Eco wrote the story of a convent or a monastery, Franciscan monastery, somewhere in the 14th century. And there's a priest that comes to William Bakersfield, I believe. And he goes to the monastery because he has to organize a meeting between the monks and some people from the Pope, because the monks are seen as unholy, unreligious, like witches, maybe, probably. And but when William arrives there, all sorts of strange things begin to happen in the library, amongst others. And he has to investigate who does what. And it's a brilliant, brilliant, well-researched novel, very immersive, and also a good movie and a very good TV series. And then there's one book that I don't have a physical copy of, and that's Shuggie Bain by Douglas Steward. This is, so beautiful. It talks about young Shuggie living with his mom in Glasgow, Dad is an absolute asshole and he's gone most of the time. He drinks a lot. And then he decides to leave Mom and Shuggie. The mom is very, she likes to present herself as a sort of a star. And she finds appearances very important. But she begins to drink, and Shuggie has to take care of his mom. And it is so beautiful. And he's a young, very sensitive boy, and you want to adopt him immediately. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. And his second novel, Mango, is even better. So yeah, young Mango. Yeah, it's Mango in Dutch. So yeah, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It took me a while to put this one together, but I finally managed it, and I hope you liked it. And come back on Sunday, because then it's my 1-year anniversary. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.